Welcome to the Tripod Sports Podcast. My name is Castle, and with me are Catman and Chappers. It's Tuesday, June 26th, and we are back again with you this week. We had a episode cut short last week, which was fine because we ended on a high note. We were talking about the U.S. Open. We didn't get to the basketball. We're getting to basketball today. Chappers, you have quite the update for us, don't you? And all the conspiracy theories.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Before we get there, though, we're going to talk about a little bit of World Cup action. My boys Mexico getting it done over in Russia.
Yeah,
Anybody see that shit?
Hell yeah, I watched. I love it.
So they've got a game tomorrow, I believe.
But they have already... Well, they haven't... Have they locked up a group stage win?
They haven't locked up the group stage win. Yeah,
right.
They haven't locked it up yet, but a draw or a win tomorrow solidifies their berth.
Right. Yeah, I don't expect them to have too much of an issue.
Right.
Who are they playing? It's
Sweden?
like... Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Sweden's been tough, but I feel like they're just riding momentum right now. Like, they're going to pull it off.
Yeah. Well, and let's see who
Sweden's coming off that like super emotional loss in the 94th minute when Tony Cruz just freaking whipped a ball around the corner to beat him.
Dude, that was nuts.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
We've had a lot of heartbreakers here in this World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stoppage time goals, or at least end of the match goals there.
Yep.
Who else are we looking at here? Russia lost yesterday. Is that right?
Yes,
Uruguay?
they did.
No, today.
Yes. Oh God, yesterday I think.
Yeah, yesterday. Which that puts Uruguay through. They've got 9 points.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna win that group.
Yeah, they won that group. Russia's second there. Spain and Portugal top their group.
Yeah. Portugal or Spain went from everyone saying, oh my God, Portugal and them drew 3-3. Oh God, are they falling apart? And they end up winning the group.
Right.
So, props to them for just doing what they do best, which is just winning and being super solid and kind of boring to watch, to be honest.
Right. Chappers, you really haven't kept up with anything going on in the World Cup at all since we talked about it?
No, I have not. I mean, maybe when it starts to get towards the
knockout stage.
Yeah, maybe I might tune in. I just haven't decided who I would cheer for.
You want to root for an underdog here? I mean, Japan needs people right now. They're leading their group. Senegal, Colombia.
I was gonna say I like Senegal. I love rooting for Senegal. They're fun.
Yeah. I might do the Catman strategy and just root against countries instead.
That's true.
That's
always fun. It's equally as fun.
That's true.
All right, so if we're gonna start rooting against people,
Russia
number 1,
France
number 2.
Also,
okay,
France.
I'd put Saudi Arabia ahead of France. All right.
Well, but they're out. I'm talking like teams that are actually going to make it to the knockout stage.
Russia. I'm surprised Russia made it. I thought they sucked.
No, they're super good actually.
Okay.
I'm rooting against Brazil. I'm just tired of the.
Oh God, I'm like all about. I hated Brazil for a while, but now that it's like the younger guys, I like a lot of them. So I'm like back on Brazil.
Oh no.
Because I love Coutinho a lot.
You guys got me on Russia. I'm definitely fine cheering again.
France.
I'd be happy to
you got no
cheer
beef with France?
I mean, Russia level beef.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like it's degrees, not kind.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
It depends, who they're playing.
Well, okay, let's say they play like Germany.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'd take Germany in that, but
right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, some of these countries are quite harmless, like Australia, Peru. I have nothing against them, but I'm just looking through games right now. So I like the Belgians.
You're just looking. You're scanning the remaining teams for human rights violators.
Exactly.
Yeah. Here's the round of 16 matchups that are set so far.
Okay.
Uruguay versus Portugal. France versus Argentina.
See, go Uruguay for sure. Fuck Cristiano Ronaldo.
Spain versus Russia.
Oh, God. Honestly, I don't care. I hate both of them.
And then Croatia versus Denmark.
Oh! I'll cheer for the Danes.
Yeah.
They just
They
ride
do
bikes
Danes.
and don't do, like, they just ride bikes and fucking be happy, so I'll cheer
Yeah,
for
they're the
them.
world's happiest people. Fun
Yeah.
fact of the day.
I'm definitely rooting for any African nations that make it. Like, I really want Senegal to make it badly. I also am pulling pretty hard for Mexico.
Yeah, I'd cheer for Mexico.
So Mexico's either going to take on Brazil or Switzerland next round.
Could you imagine a Mexico versus Brazil matchup? Good God.
Oh, that'll get a little violent, I think.
I don't know. I view it as like, I don't know. I don't know that it would get violent. I feel like it would get very respectful in a way. Maybe I'm just not involved
We
enough.
might not get violent at each other, but it's going to get violent.
That's true. On the field, it would probably be pretty intense.
Yeah, I mean, Mexico
That'd be
with
fun.
their
I mean-
racist and homophobic, chants on the field. It's
Eh,
gonna get
That's-
weird, I think.
That's just kind of funny, though.
I mean, yeah, when you're when you're yelling at the other goalie, puto, every time he
Yeah,
takes the
I
ball.
mean, I think doesn't necessarily mean that. It's ambiguous.
It is ambiguous, and I think a lot of people translate it too literally.
I agree. As
So,
a person who used to speak Spanish, okay, I agree.
Right. Chappers, anyone from that first round of matches that I was able to give you that you're going to hop on board with?
I'll hop on the Mexico train.
Okay.
Right to the wall.
Get ready for some heartbreak, man. Let's just put it that way.
I hope not.
I don't think I'm going to be all that invested in it.
I don't know, man. They look really good. They have like arguably the best goalie in the entire tournament. Like, not to mention,
I do like a good goalie.
Mehmet Ochoa is super good. Like, they have a leader that they can rally behind in Chicharito. They have enough young talent for like the first time in a while to actually like make them explosive. Yeah, like I actually think they're in a really good spot.
Yeah, if they end up going up against Brazil, it's not going to end well.
I don't know, man. I don't necessarily agree. I think that both of those teams
too big for them.
I think both of those teams play with a lot of like well-deserved confidence, which is something I think Mexico has been lacking for a couple of years. Like, I feel like Mexico and Brazil have both finally found their identities again, and I think they're both equally difficult to beat, to be honest.
Yeah. I'll give you that, in that they both have spent the last decade wandering, and they're finally back to maybe their initial, they're not their initial, but their former prominence.
Right.
Or they're getting back there.
Agreed.
All right, Chappers, I think we've made you wait long enough. Give us your best conspiracy theories for the NBA.
I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory. I'm just super jazzed.
I have breaking news.
For the decision 3.0.
I have
All right, give us some breaking news first.
Breaking free agency news, not about LeBron. Well, I'll just start there.
It's always about LeBron.
The Clippers have traded Austin Rivers to the Wizards for Marcin Gortat.
Huh. Like, did they get anything else? Or did they give up
I'm
anything
scrolling
else?
through the story.
Because Austin Rivers is garbage. So that's a...
No, it appears to be a straight-up deal.
All right. Okay, Wizards, go home. You're drunk. How much is he? It must be a salary cap thing.
I would assume that's what it is. They are both in the final years of their contracts. So, I just didn't expect to see any action, so there you go.
Chappers.
Okay, so the decision 3.0. Who's excited about it? I'm excited about it. I want all the LeBron news.
I'm not particularly.
Are we gonna do the
excited.
phony decision 3.0 shit on ESPN again? Are we?
It's not phony. It's real.
Okay, it's not fake.
He's not doing anything this time around. No.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah, he has learned his lesson about that, but like that doesn't prevent all the rest of us from going just nuts over it.
Not incorrect.
All right, so who are the leading teams right now?
The Lakers. It's the Lakers. I would think the Cavs.
There are a lot of sources that are saying he is between two teams, the Lakers and the Cavs.
Yeah. I still think that the 76ers could be a dark horse, but
dude, his option for next year is $35.6 million.
Well, he's going to opt out regardless. The question isn't whether he's going to opt out, because he opted out last year or whatever. Like, he opts out every year to get the max deal. So
the difference is this year it would actually be taking slightly less.
Right.
Whereas in previous years he was always getting more. But the amount it's less than $1 million out of the, I don't remember what it was exactly, but it's less than $1 million out of 35. So to cut his options off for a couple $100,000 for LeBron is not worth it. He's gonna want to keep his options open as long as possible.
Right.
So like if he opts in, he doesn't have any control over where he goes. And like he can demand a trade, but if Dan Gilbert says fuck you, then Dan Gilbert says fuck you.
Then he's stuck, right?
I don't think Dan Gilbert is many things. Cheap is not one of them, though.
I don't think cheap is the
guy has spent more money over the past 2 years or 3 years. I read something today on ESPN. He spent more money than anyone else as far as acquiring talent.
Oh, absolutely, because they've been paying out the nose for the luxury tax for years, like ever since LeBron got there, basically.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Catman said hello.
Kitty cat, meow.
Is he gone?
Kitty cat might be gone, meow. Oh, kitty
anyway.
Cat. Yeah, keep going.
So the big, I guess, it's not so much a conspiracy theory. It's just like a thing to get excited about that's never going to happen. Hypothetically, with a series of trades and free agency acquisitions, it is possible for the Lakers to end up with a starting five of Kemba Walker, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, Paul George, and Dwight Howard. So, I mean, that's not going to happen, but it could. So, like, isn't that something you could get jazzed about? Yeah. I don't know how you guys aren't jazzed about that. That would be so sick.
Quite the lineup there. What's the percentage chance of that happening?
Like 1?
Less than 1?
Probably. Well, I don't know. I would say 1 even. 1 to 2% maybe.
Kitten's still here, man. I can hear him in the background.
Is he just cooking in the background?
I don't
Shows how much he's invested in this podcast.
We've got one episode to go after this one, and this kid's just making random dinner in the middle of a podcast.
Jesus Christ. That's probably what he said hello. He's probably answering his phone or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Jesus, talk about senioritis. Good God.
All right, so what else is going on, though? So we've got this potential mega mix all-star team here.
Yeah. I mean, the big thing is whether Kawhi is going to be going to the is going to be able to be traded. I mean, the Lakers made an offer for him or reached out about him, and I and the Lakers or the Spurs aren't biting. But that's not to say that when push comes to shove, they might not acquire it. That would be basically the crux of this, because I think if LeBron decides to go out to LA, I think it's an easy decision for Paul George to join him, and then they would still have the talent to acquire other players, but they also could stick with what they have with LeBron James and Paul George and still have their mid-level exception to sign somebody like Dwight Howard, because Dwight Howard's going to get bought out and he's going to be willing to play for the mid-level exception. So why not play on that team?
Right. Yeah, I mean, all signs point to why would you not try and hop on that deal if you can?
Right. And that's not to say that they won't go that they wouldn't use that elsewhere, like on a Nerlens Noel or somebody like that who kind of fits the bill defensively but doesn't come with the baggage that Dwight would come with.
Right. What else do you see in your crystal ball, Chappers?
I don't know. I mean, it is interesting that it does seem like LeBron is seriously considering staying in Cleveland, and to me that's crazy because, I mean, he must really love that city to be willing to do that, because I don't think he can win there. And it's not of any fault of his own. I just think that team, through various reasons, some of it was on LeBron for some of the moves that he influenced, but a lot of it was just kind of luck and how things went. They are in a position where they don't really have that much talent on that roster, and they are completely capped out. So they're unable to really make talent acquisitions that can get them over the top. And if you're not going forwards, you're going backwards.
So here's a question for you: would we ever see a Tom Brady-esque "I'll take less money if you can sign more players" deal out of LeBron?
I don't think so. No. And the Tom Brady thing is a little bit of a myth, because Tom Brady, it's kind of an apples to oranges situation, because Tom Brady is not really taking less money so much as he's taking less money, but he's taking more guaranteed money. So, people say it as it's a selfless thing that he's doing, but it's not. He's taking guaranteed money up front, and that ensures that he can stick around for as long as he wants, because his dead cap number is high. So really, he's not taking a pay cut so much as he is taking his money up front, and the team gets to move it into further years down the books. So it's costing them less money now, not later. You can't really do that in the NBA because the contracts are guaranteed for the most part. So that's not gonna happen. And he already said he's not gonna play for less than the maximum. And he's the vice president of the Players Association, so I take him at his word for that, because the Players Association is not in a position to stand for players taking less money. That's not what you want as a Players Association. You want the players to take the max amount they can get.
Right. Understandable. It's just, I mean, you look at it, and it's, if you really want to stay in Cleveland, you're gonna do some work to make that shit happen, right?
Right. Yeah. And the other thing is, it's not just LeBron. I mean, they would have to find a way to get rid of J.R. Smith's contract, Tristan Thompson's contract, even Kyle Korver. They have those guys on the books that pretty much, with the exception of Thompson, nobody really wants. And even with Thompson, people would want him, but not for the price he's getting. So those are three guys that eat up a ton of your cap, and they're so far over. You would have to give up assets you don't have to get rid of those guys to clear out cap space. Right. So it's just to put this in perspective, LeBron, I believe, could play for the veteran minimum this year for the Cavs, and they would still be over the cap.
Really?
Yeah, I mean they're stuck with so many shitty contracts that. Let me check on that. Just give me a quick moment here.
Yeah. Other news of importance: Bubba came back from a 6 or 7 shot deficit this weekend, and won. Really impressive showing out of Bubba Watson on the course. I know we haven't talked a lot of PGA recently, but just an impressive comeback and really put it together on the 18th hole. Beautiful shot. I know you missed it, Chappers, but holy shit, it looked like pure grace out of Bubba Watson.
It would be interesting to see him making a comeback because he's been down for a little bit, but it's not like he's old. He can still hit the piss out of the ball.
Yeah, and I mean his win at the Travelers Championship on Sunday was nuts, man. I really can't describe that final hole. If I find the video, I'll send it to you so you can see it, because he was making some shots that round that were just unbelievable, like almost Tiger-esque.
That's solid. All right, I got this ready for you. I can confirm that even if the Cleveland Cavaliers renounced all their free agent holds, that would also include Rodney Hood, which is a player that presumably they're going to want because he's 25 years old and has talent, which is not something they have a lot of.
They have a JR, and then they've got Rodney Hood.
Well, I mean, like, Rodney Hood is young and has talent. They don't have too many of those guys. Like,
right.
Jordan Clarkson's the other one.
JR's not that old, though, is he?
He's 32, which is younger. It's younger than LeBron, but the thing with JR is he's not good right now. And at 32, he's not going to get better. At least with Rodney Hood at 25, you could just be like, well, he's not quite where you want him, but he's got some promise because he could get better.
He's got a lot of skill there.
Yeah, with J.R. Smith, like, what you see is what you get, if not worse. Because, like, I mean, he's not going to get any smarter. He's had his whole career to, like, figure his life out and hasn't figured that out. But, all right. If they renounce all their cap holds, including Rodney Hood, and LeBron James, for whatever reason, decides to play for the veteran minimum, they would still be $3 million over the cap.
And I'm sure that $3 million is going to hurt because well, I guess not as bad as, if it was 10 or 15, because that luxury tax goes up in increments, doesn't it?
Well, it's not so much the luxury tax, but as you can see, like, they'd still be over, so they still couldn't sign any free agents other than the mid-level exception.
Right.
So they could sign one free agent, like one Dwight Howard type free agent, but so can the Warriors,
Yeah. Yeah, all right. That makes more sense for me now.
So, like, really, Cleveland's not in a position to get better, and that's why I don't think it makes any sense for him to stay there. He could go to LA, either join a bunch of all-stars and make, a super team for the next couple of years, or go with one other all-star to a group of 3 or 4 really talented young players that might be just a season or two short of hitting their stride. That's a much better option.
Right.
Or, I mean, I still think it would be a decent. I mean, the 76ers only needed to trade away one contract to make enough cap space to bring LeBron in, and it would basically be the entire 76ers team as is, if they could sign, like, J.J. Redick to their mid-level exception. They'd be bringing back basically that entire team, except all their players would be, better because they're younger players, and you'd be adding LeBron to a young playoff team, which is not something that he's been on before.
Yeah, I mean, how many more years do we see LeBron having here, right? Another 2, 3, 4?
I mean, I would say 2 or 3 more LeBron-type years where he's still playing at a similar
game.
level. Yeah. And then he might hang on for a few years after that and still play. I mean, like, he could be an all-star in 5 years, but he's not, that doesn't mean he's going to be transformative like he is now. He would just be like,
I mean,
I don't know,
if you're LeBron, why wouldn't you look at this young squad and think, man, if I've got 3 years to ride out at my peak, let me go ride it out with this young squad that I know I can do some shit with.
Well, that's kind of my point, is that when he does kind of hit that point where he's still playing at like an all-star level but not an MVP type level, one where he can still really contribute but can't be the guy, why would you not want to be on a team of young guys that are hitting their stride when you can be the third or fourth option on the team? Like, he can't do that in Cleveland. He's always going to be the guy, and when he can't be the guy anymore, the team ceases to have any success.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you can only put the team on your back for so long until, you just can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, he's already done it. I mean, like, you look, like, a player cannot play any better than he has played in the playoffs in the last 4 years.
Yeah. Understandable. All right, anything else for the NBA before we say goodbye?
No, I think that'll be all. I think by our Four Loko finale here, we might have a better idea of what's going down.
Other news of note, nothing other than NBC's taking over the NASCAR broadcast starting this weekend at Chicagoland. Dale Jr. is going to be on there. Pretty excited.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. And we'll go from there. But, Chappers, you know what time it is?
I think I do. LeBron, I know you love Cleveland. So do we. But you've given enough to that city. Turn a new page. Go to the Lakers. Win some championships. And drink some ice cold Four Loko!
That was so fucking impressive. That was like a Mexican soccer announcer.
Goal! I gotta try and get my breathing down right next week so I can get an extra long one.
Maybe we'll all join in with you next week.
That might help.
All right.